Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be on a new knife I picked up, and the reason I picked it up was did a video a while back on this. Really liked it, really enjoyed it. I carry this every day and thought, well, I might need something on occasion a little bit bigger. So I picked this up. This is a number 8. This is a number 12. Stainless steel, carbon. Now, this one I've used for preparing food, and it worked pretty good, but I wanted something bigger, easier to handle bigger pieces, and I wanted something I could use when I'm out fishing or hunting, and that's why I picked this up. And like all of their knives, this is in the locked close position. If you hear something in the background that sounds like water, I got my swamp cooler on because it's hot in the shop today. This is just under a 5-inch blade, which makes it legal to carry in Texas, unrestricted. Let me lock this. And once it's locked, these blades don't go anywhere. They're real safe. It's a thicker blade than the 8, but still relatively thin. I've done some carving on it, and it takes off big chunks of wood, and this is just a dry dowel, which is harder to cut than green wood. But was real impressed with the number 8. Picked this up, been real impressed with this, been doing some work with it. You'll hear people say that these are not Bushcraft knives, and I'm going to disagree. I've been using this knife and works perfectly good for Bushcraft, works perfectly good for working with wood. Actually, I like it better than some of my other knives because the blade is thin. It's easier to cut with. Thicker blades are harder to cut with, just the way it works. And again, I'm going to say this, some people don't like these because they're two-handed open. Don't have a need for a one-handed open all the time. This knife gives me a lot of other options because of the blade design, and I like the safety feature that I don't care that it takes two hands to open it. You can modify these to work one-handed, but I'm not even going to do that. In my other video, I made a typo. I had to put a little text on the screen that said fan of one-bladed folders. I meant to say not a fan. I have never really liked a knife, a folding knife that has one blade. I just never seen a need for that, or it's like, give me a couple blades so I can have options. And then I picked this up, and it kind of changed my mind. I will throw one caveat in there. I still don't like single-bladed folding knives that are liner locks. This one I like because of this locking mechanism right here, because it's extremely good, extremely tight, and extremely safe. Now, another thing I noticed on the older knives, this side was cut away and you could lock either way. On the newer ones, it's just one way. And I think that's because there were some complaints about people having trouble lining them up to close them. I've never had that problem, but some people complained about it. So these are new, and they only lock one way in either position, closed or open. But I was surprised by these knives. This is an 8, good everyday carry, which I do now carry this every day, along with my Swiss Army knife. I've had this in my pocket. It's really big to be put in a pocket. I dropped it in there because I needed to use both my hands. It was probably in there for an hour and a half, and I just forgot it was in there until I sat down. And because it does, I mean, it's just a big knife to have in a pocket, but it's light. So So I mean, it can be done. I'm probably gonna cut a hole right here to put a cord in. I switched it. This one came with leather. Switched it with some bright yellow cord and switched that with the bank line, which I really like. But anyway, these knives are really good knives. I looked into them a couple years ago, but never got around to buying. They suffer from a reputation of being cheap because they are inexpensive. And I'm going to use the term inexpensive because these are not cheap knives. I associate cheap knives with things that fall apart and there's not very good craftsmanship. And this definitely does not fit that bill because the craftsmanship in them is actually pretty good. For what they are, I'm impressed. It's a simple design, but it works, and they've done a really good job in putting them together and making them feel really well constructed. This one right here is pretty stiff to open and close, so you don't have to worry about that blade just flopping around. And now, just before I close this video, I'm going to show you another good thing about these. I've had this ferro rod for years. It came with this, which I always have trouble getting anything to spark off of this thing with this, which came with it. And the Swiss Army knife saw blade back works good, but as you can see, this thing really works to throw sparks. So now I've got my fire steel back. But anyway, thanks for watching the video. I would recommend, if you're thinking about getting one of these, to go ahead and do it. You'll just have to decide. They make both of these in carbon and stainless steel. Stainless steel, carbon, and I'll let you know how each blade handles over time and handles being worked with, and I'll give you an update. But thanks for watching the video. Please consider, damn it, that a couple weeks ago. Oh, let's do that again. Cuts in pretty